Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
Today is an especially difficult day to be talking about this bill from my standpoint. This morning, a judge, a man who's supposed to preside over trials, preside over the administration of justice in his courtroom was murdered.
But first, a tragic shooting near the Capitol today. The two-block area surrounding the state capitol was a blur of police activity this morning after a fatal shooting. A suspect identified as Brian Nichols allegedly shot and killed 3 people in a Fulton County courtroom less than a mile from the Capitol. Nichols was apparently in court as a suspect in a rape trial when he reportedly took a gun from a sheriff's deputy and then he shot and wounded that deputy. Nichols allegedly then shot and killed Judge Roland Barnes and his court reporter. The suspect then fled the Fulton County courthouse and allegedly shot and killed another sheriff's deputy during his escape. Nichols then reportedly carjacked a 1997 green Honda Accord and evaded law enforcement. Suspect Brian Nichols is still at large. Governor Sonny Perdue is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to Nichols' apprehension.
I don't know how this case is going to be tried ever.
That was Monday, a dire prediction from the judge presiding over the Atlanta courthouse shooting trial. Now, after just 2 days of jury selection, the trial is again on hold, halted, because defense attorneys say they've run out of money and can't properly defend Brian Nichols.
I have a hard time knowing what I know about the state of readiness and the needs that are present in this case, that we're ready to pick a jury.
Nichols faces death if convicted of the shootings, which took place after he escaped from custody during a March 2005 rape trial. He's charged with killing the judge presiding over the trial, a court reporter, a deputy sheriff, and a federal agent.
Without some sense that
Nichols has no money to pay for his own defense. Preparing for trial has already cost the public defender's office some $1.8 million. The state of Georgia cut off funding to the defense team on July 1st. Nichols' lawyers, who plan to argue he was delusional at the time of the killings, say they can't properly represent their client without more money, in part to hire expert witnesses.
I know that if this case goes forward without any additional funding, there's no chance of a verdict, if he were to get one, standing up.
Nichols' lawyers are now calling on the judge to level a contempt charge against the state agency responsible for funding the defense team. They asked the judge to halt jury selection, and he agreed. At a hearing next week, the judge will demand an explanation from state officials as to why they stopped paying the bills. Jason Bronis, The Associated Press, Atlanta.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb. We on our way to Georgia with it. The good old city of Atlanta. Y'all meet us at the Fulton County Courthouse. This shit about to get wicked. Now, today, we are going to be covering a guy by the name of Brian Gene Nichols. Now, a little bit about Brian Nichols. You know, most people are going to remember him from that historical courthouse shooting where 2 people was murdered at the courthouse and the deputy was murdered during the course of the escape. But just breaking down his life in general, it was just a culmination of bad setbacks and just wild incidents. So he was born in a middle-class suburb in Baltimore, Maryland, and he attended the prestigious Cardinal Gibbons School. Now, he was known for playing football and actually had a knack and was so good at it that he would gain a scholarship. During the 1989-1990 season, he would play for Kutztown University of Pennsylvania, which was located in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. It was said that he was bound for bad shit or had a knack for trouble, almost like a black cloud followed him and shit like that. So he would drop out of college and he would move to Georgia probably about 5 years after he graduated from high school. And this is going to be in 1995. And he would begin working for Hewlett Packard, and he would also work for UPS. And this is where his life is going to take a drastic turn. Now, shortly after moving to Georgia, he was arrested on multiple charges of kidnapping, rape, and assault of a former girlfriend. Now, this is after him somehow finding out about some kind of affair or relationship that she had with a minister from a church that they both was members of. Now, I told y'all this shit some wild shit now. So for those wondering how he ended up in jail prior to the courthouse shooting, it was because of those rape charges. Now, the state of Georgia would proceed to take him to trial, and in its first attempt to convict him, it would end in a mistrial due to a hung jury. Now, I can't speak for most people, but just to try to put myself in his same shoes during that situation, I'm having a whole different mindset, especially if I didn't commit the rape or the kidnapping. But who knows? Nonetheless, I'm looking at it like I just kind of got a hung jury. I just need to hold off and see what's going to shake with this second trial. I'm assuming Brian Nichols totally thought the opposite, because it would be while he was awaiting that second trial that his family members and some of his friends would start expressing concern to the Fulton County Courthouse about his intentions to formulate a plan to try to escape. Then March 11th, 2005 rolls around, and it's the date that Nichols is scheduled to go on trial for that second round on that rape case. And this is where they're going to say that he overpowered a sheriff deputy by the name of Cynthia Hall. Brian Nichols would proceed to beat her into a coma, and in the process, he would steal her Glock handgun. Now, according to court documents, they would say that he would then switch into civilian clothing, then proceed to continue with his escape. But he would go on to encounter a few case managers, one by the name of Susan Christie and another one by the name of Gina Clark, as well as another attorney who he would then hold at gunpoint, asking them to direct him to the chambers of Judge Roland Barnes. Now, I'm still not quite sure why Judge Roland Barnes was targeted, because I'm not even sure if he was the judge on Brian Nichols' case. But nonetheless, he would end up being shot and killed alongside a court reporter by the name of Julie Ann Brando. Now, sometime in between him committing those courtroom murders and him showing up at an apartment in Duluth, Georgia, he also shot and killed a sergeant by the name of Hoyt Teasley. Now, after a series of subsequent carjackings outside the Atlanta courthouse, Nichols would subsequently escape. Now, not long after his arrest, a reward for $65,000 would be announced for any information that resulted in his capture. Now, his trail would go silent for a little while until the police would receive a call from a female coming home from a gymnasium, and they would say Nichols proceeded to try to kidnap her. And it wouldn't be too long after that where Immigration and Customs Enforcement or ICE agent by the name of David Wilhelm would be found shot to death in his home with several of his belongings missing, including a badge, a gun, as well as his pickup truck. And they're going to say that Brian Nichols was a prime suspect in that shooting death. Now, it would be about 24 hours from his escape to where authorities would receive a 911 call from a woman by the name of Ashley Smith, and she would state that she had Brian Nichols in her Duluth, Georgia apartment, where she was somehow able to convince him. I'm not sure if it was through the power of prayer or if it was through who knows what happened in that apartment. But she was able to contact the police department, and they came and they captured Brian Nichols. Now, on May 5th, 2005, Nichols was indicted in Fulton County on 54 counts, including murder, felony murder, kidnapping, armed robbery, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, theft, carjacking, and escape from authorities, not to mention the trial that he was facing for the rape and the kidnapping prior to the courthouse shooting. Now, during the course of everything, Brian Nichols will become Georgia's most expensive defendant as far as legal defense is concerned, because he had a public defender, and they would say that his case would end up topping $3 million for the prosecution and the defense combined. Now, after doing all that shit, it wouldn't be long before he would be convicted of all 54 counts in November of 2008, and it would be in December of 2008 where he would be sentenced to multiple life sentences with no chances of parole. I'm almost going to say he's lucky. Georgia probably definitely don't have the death penalty, because this is definitely going to be a death penalty case if I ever heard one. And I'm almost sure that if this act took place in any state where the death penalty was on the table, the sentencing would have ended a lot different. Now, I need everybody that was in the city of Georgia to get in the comment box, because I know y'all remember this one. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP_A_LOT. We're going to be back with some more real Trill Spill shit. Y'all make sure y'all hit the red subscribe under this video so y'all know when this real Trill Spill shit is dropping. And y'all get at me in the comment box below. Y'all DM me, y'all tag me, y'all mention me, y'all tweet me, y'all email me, y'all CC me, y'all tweet me, y'all call me, and let me know where we need to go, who we missed, what states we ain't been to, what cities we need to tap in with. Y'all know what it is with me. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb, Mobb, Mobb.